Hi, everyone. My name is Janisha, and I'm a member of the team here at Metricool. Thank you so much for joining this pre-recorded webinar. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about the Metricool affiliate program, and more specifically, to share all of the ways that our top affiliates are earning with Metricool. So the types of content that are best performing, the different places that they're placing their links, everything that goes into their strategy, and basically sharing what is helping them earn and become top affiliates within our program. For those that just started, for those that have just recently become Metricoolers, just created a Metricool account, I do want to share a little bit about the program and how it works. So, how can you join? Who can join? As long as you have a Metricool account, you are a Metricool affiliate. Cheers, cheers, cheers. There is no wait period. There is no application required. As soon as you create your account, you'll be able to log in, click the top right-hand corner. There's going to be 3 lines, a drop-down menu. Drop down and select affiliate program, and that's where you'll find your affiliate dashboard. It's going to contain your link, a coupon code that you can use for your audience so that they can get a free trial, and you can create as many of those as you'd like. It's going to show you your traffic sources, your conversions when you get them, a link to your affiliate resource hub, which is going to house different assets and images and verbiage about all of our Metricool features that you can share with your audience. So it's really easy to get started. You're practically already an affiliate. You just need to access your link if you haven't already. And I do also want to share that we do have 2 different affiliate tiers. So we have Metricool Associates, which are our tier 1, and then Metricool Partners, which are our tier 2. Our Metricool Associates, anybody that has a Metricool account starts out as a Metricool Associate. And our Metricool Associates can earn 25% per subscriber, up to $100 per user. In order to advance to our tier 2, our highest affiliate tier, our Metricool Partner, you must earn 200 paid conversions. So when you earn your 200 paid conversion, you'll become a Metricool Partner, and you'll be able to earn 50% per paid user, up to $300 per user. Additionally, our Metricool partners are typically invited to collaborate with us on different campaigns, to speak at webinars, to partner with us on different initiatives. So we definitely encourage you guys to use your affiliate link, get those conversions, and go ahead and advance to a Metricool partner. But these are the 2 affiliate tiers that we have. Now, we are going to talk a lot about the different strategies and different types of content that our top affiliates are putting out. But I first want to start and set the stage by saying a lot of times with affiliate programs, for those that's maybe your first affiliate program that you're a part of, or you're just getting started using your link, sometimes our affiliates in general seem to think that it's about selling, right? It's about selling the product. It's about putting the link out there. It's about giving it to everyone that you possibly can. But our top affiliates see the most success not by selling, but by showing. So let me explain what I mean by that. It's people respond better to solutions than promotions. And so it's better to show how you're using the tool, or focus on how it solves different problems for you, or how it can solve problems for others, rather than just sharing a link, sharing a coupon. Now, obviously, you do want to share your link as much as possible so that you can earn conversions, but you're going to see the most success when you share that link with a quality piece of content as opposed to just a generic promotion. So what are some different things that you might be able to focus on? Teaching something useful. If there's something that you do within Metricool, right? Because every Metricooler is a Metricool affiliate, there's no application, you have the link, you're using the tool, you love the tool. If there's something that you're doing in Metricool that you want to show somebody else how to do because it's just made your life so easy, for me, it's reporting. Anybody that's ever worked in social media before, whether it be for an agency or in-house, and at the end of the month or at the start of the next month, there's going to be reporting on campaigns or for different clients, and it takes up so much of your time. Metricool has a feature where you can basically automate your reporting. You can include all of your brand information, so it looks very polished, it looks very professional. You can set that to send at a particular time and date every month, and not just to you, but to your superiors, to your boss, to your colleagues, to your clients, etc. That is a tool I would love to show somebody how to use if they'd never used Metricool reporting. If they'd always been pulling everything by hand or taking screenshots from the different platforms or using Excel, Teach something useful, something that you use on the daily, something that you already know how to do. That's how you're going to increase your conversions. Another, solve a real problem. So, along the same lines of teaching something useful, that solves a real problem for me. If I was still pulling reports manually by hand, it's taking so much time out of your day. It's solving a problem for somebody that typically has to do that weekly, monthly, quarterly. You're solving a problem. Show them how to solve a real problem. Show your process. If you are a very efficient person and you work in the marketing field and you sit down and you plan your content for all of your clients in 2 days and then you start scheduling it out, show them exactly how you do that. Show them your process. Show your audience exactly what steps you're taking in Metricool, how you set up different brand profiles, how you're managing your 10 clients, how you are reusing content so you don't have to create something from scratch every single time, how you're finding the best times to post. Show them your process as you use the tool. And it's very simple, right? These are things that you're already doing on the regular, and it really gives them a peek into how beneficial Metricool can be. Next, show your favorite features. I kind of touched on this already. One of my favorite features, as I said, reporting. Yours might be something different that's just really, really groundbreaking and really makes a difference in your life or for your field, for your niche, right? Everyone isn't necessarily in marketing. Everyone isn't necessarily a social media manager, and that's okay. If you're a business owner and there's a specific feature that saves you time, for example, the inbox management tool might be a great one. Instead of logging into X and to Facebook and to LinkedIn to respond to every single person that's messaging you, and you feel like it's just such a time saver and such a relief being able to log into Metricool and pull all of that information and respond to everyone in one place, and you want to share that with somebody else, do so, right? It's better than saying, here's my affiliate link, go ahead and register for Metricool. It's saying, here's how Metricool is changing my life. Here's how it's making it so much easier for me to focus on my business and also make sure that I'm responding to all of my clients or future clients. And then talk about outcomes. It's nice to share your process and what you're doing, but also make sure that you're sharing exactly what that's contributing to your life. By saving you time, are you able to log off at 5 o'clock? Work your 9 to 5 and call it a day? Are you able to spend a little more time with your family? Are you able to take on an extra client because now you have more time? You're not pulling reports manually for all of these other clients. Talk about the different outcomes and what it's doing for yourself or your company or your business or even your clients. And that's another great way to promote organically. So a couple of different ideas in addition to what I shared might be surrounding these different content topics. I've pulled these from some of our top affiliates and the types of content that they are promoting and that they are sharing and what's working for them. Staying consistent on social media is a big one. I'm sure that's not a surprise. I think anybody who is active on social media and is trying to grow their channels, whether they be small business owners, whether they be brand managers, UGC creators, influencers, you have to be consistent, and it's not easy. So this is a content idea that's very, very popular. Another one is managing multiple platforms. You might think that this day and age, everyone is using some type of tools to manage all of the different platforms, but that's not always the case, right? There are so many different platforms that people are on. Everyone is different. They're looking for different ways to manage them all in one place. They're looking for different ways to take the stress and overwhelming feeling out of having to check 10 different accounts, because it seems like every year a new social platform is popping up, right? Next, we have saving time, of course. Who doesn't love to save time? Who doesn't love to have an extra hour or two in their day? Reporting, big one for freelancers, for social media managers, even small business owners. They want to know how their content is performing. They want to be able to pull this report and share it with members of their team. Planning content more efficiently. Now, it's one thing to stay consistent on social media, and it's another thing to genuinely sit down and plan your content with strategy and with purpose. And Metricool absolutely does help with this. No matter what niche you're in, no matter what it is that you're promoting, a product, a service, what have you, maybe it's your personal brand. When you have all of the analytics, the robust analytics features that Metricool has and all of the amazing tools, you can truly sit down and plan content efficiently because you know it's working. You don't have to log into every platform individually to see what's what. And so people love when our affiliates create content around that. Next, we have organizing client work. Freelancers, agencies, very big among them. Again, when you're sharing your link, you want to talk about the solutions, right? How can they organize their client work? So this is one that's very, very big, and there's many different ways that you can go about organizing or streamlining client work within Metricool. So there's a lot to discuss here. And then avoiding burnout or avoiding creator burnout specifically, as mentioned. You have to be consistent on these social media platforms in order to grow your audience, in order to sell your product or your service. And so, being that we're all human and we all get tired sometimes, it's very relatable when somebody else is talking about the struggles that they have on social media or with being efficient on social media and growing their channels. So, for example, instead of saying, try Metricool for social media management, you might instead say, here's how I schedule a month of content in one sitting with Metricool. Give some information, and then, of course, share your link. Now, it's also important that you know your audience in addition to promoting organically and showing the different ways that you use Metricool instead of just sharing your link. So there are four primary personas or primary audiences that you might share Metricool with. Now, of course, Metricool can be used by any and everyone for whatever purpose, but here are the first two that we typically see. Social media managers and also freelancers. Now, you might think that, oh, if you're a social media manager, chances are you freelance, or if you freelance, chances are you were a social media manager, or you might be in the future, and this may be true. But there are certain differences or certain needs that these two audiences have that shows how they differ. So for a social media manager, they might be an in-house brand manager, for example, social media manager. And not only are they doing social media, but they're doing something else. They're working between marketing, they're working between PR, they're having conversations with sales. It's important for them to execute, right? And so scheduling and planning content faster might be of importance to them. Tracking individual campaign performance might also be important to them because when you work in a business, there are often times where there are seasonal promotions, or there might be a product sale. There might be a specific promotion on one channel as opposed to all of them. And leadership or your colleagues or you as a social media manager might want to know how that specific campaign did. And so it's important that you're able to track individual campaign performance and things of that nature. Also, managing multiple platforms. When you're managing social media for a brand, for a business, chances are you have some type of presence on all of the platforms. Even if you're not posting on there every single day, you have some type of presence. And so they want to make sure that they can manage these platforms efficiently. On the flip side, for freelancers are going to take on as many clients as they can, right? So it's very important that they are efficient in managing multiple client accounts, and they can do all of that within Metricool. So that's an important point to highlight. Another, appearing professional, because as you're not necessarily with a company or with other individuals, it might be a one-woman show. You want to make sure as a freelancer that your reporting is professional, that everything is in line with your brand, that everything is as it should be, as if you were working for a company, for an agency, etc. And so this is a great point to kind of drive home with freelancers that with Metricool, reporting will be professional, reporting will be branded. They're able to conduct business and do everything that they could do if they were a part of a larger team as a freelancer successfully. Additionally, as freelancers, their job is to get client approvals and get the content up and get quality content up as quickly as possible. And without a proper system in place that allows for feedback and client approvals like Metricool, it can get messy and it can drag out the process. So that's an important feature to highlight for freelancers as well, just in knowing your audience. Approvals, getting the feedback faster, having everything in one place, and being able to move forward with your scheduling and planning for that client, that brand, etc. So that was two of the four audiences. The other two are agencies and small business owners. So for agencies, it's also going to be important for them that they're able to manage multiple brands in one place. Agencies manage dozens, maybe even hundreds of brands, depending on how big the agency is. And so they want to be able to scale, they want to be able to grow. Additionally, approvals are also a big one, and collaboration, because it's not only getting approvals from the client side, but you also want to be able to work within the agency with your peers, with your colleagues, with your superiors to make sure that everybody's able to accomplish the task that they have for that specific client, for that specific brand in a timely manner. And they are able to do that with Metricool, of course. Additionally, client reporting. Reporting, reporting, reporting. All roads lead back to reporting. Reporting can take so much time for one brand, for one campaign. Imagine how many hours are spent within an agency itself from different individuals within the agency that are working across different accounts pulling reporting. With Metricool, it can be automated. With Metricool, you can use Metricool Studio and say, hey, I want to see this, this, and this. Give me all of these numbers from these 3 brands, put it in a report. And you can get a live report, a live link to share with your clients. It makes reporting so, so, so easy. I just have to say that one more time. I love our reporting features. They're fantastic. Touching on small business owners. So this audience differs slightly from the other 3 because while the other 3 are more than likely in the sphere of marketing, you don't necessarily have to be a marketing professional to be a small business owner or to use the tool. I know plenty of marketing professionals that use tools like Metricool or use Metricool. And I know probably even more business owners that don't have a tool at all and could be so much more successful in what they are doing if they knew how to manage their social media, or if they had a tool like Metricool. So for them, it's not necessarily about marketing or social media, but it's about using marketing and social media as a tool to grow their existing business on those platforms. So one point that you might want to touch on is simplifying social media management, right? Because that's not their 9 to 5. They're using it to sell the product or to sell the service. Another might be using an easy to navigate tool. They already have clients, they already have the work that they want to do, that they need to do. They don't want to spend another 10 hours a week trying to figure out how to use a tool or how to get it to work or why it's not working. And then you also want to talk about the time saving aspect. Entrepreneurs are very, very busy, very, very busy. So you want to talk about all the ways that they can use Metricool to manage their own social media, and to do so efficiently without having to spend 15 hours navigating the tool or 15 hours trying to see what post works best or figuring out how to schedule across all of their different channels. Now let's talk about one of the most important pieces within this webinar today, and that is evergreen content. So we talked about audiences, we talked about how you can promote Metricool or show Metricool without necessarily selling Metricool. Even more important than all of those things, it's very, very important that you as an affiliate create evergreen content. Why? Because evergreen content works for you in the long term. You want to be rewarded for the effort that you are putting in. You want to earn with Metricool. And when you create a story, it can absolutely be effective. But if you create something that has a longer lifespan, more longevity, you'll get more out of it in the long run, 9 times out of 10. So our top affiliates share long form pieces of content or evergreen content that's not only relevant today, but it was probably relevant yesterday, and it'll definitely be relevant 3 years from now. So these are the different types of content that you want to focus on creating when you're thinking about how you can share Metricool with your audience. And we're going to talk a little bit about the different content formats that we see work best for our affiliates as well. But just keep that in mind. The stories are great, the short posts are great, but you really want something that's going to work for you 10 years from now, when you put it up a long time ago and it's still relevant. So let's talk about content ideas featuring Metricool. Now, this is a list of 10 content ideas that have come from our top affiliates, things that we've seen them promote, things that we've seen them create, whether it be videos, blogs, etc., that have truly helped them generate conversions, because you want to convert at the end of the day. You want to earn with the tool that you love. So here are 10 content ideas, although there are many, many more that I'm sure you guys will probably think of after completing this webinar and after taking a moment to think more about your audience, because everybody's audience is different. So first, we have best social media tools for beginners. When you're starting out using a social media tool, if you haven't used one or you haven't used many before, The things that you need, the basics that you need, the knowledge that you need to navigate and understand today will probably be the same 6 months from now. So, this is a piece of content that will last a very long time, that many people will probably search for as beginners to have tutorials to have a better understanding. So, it's a great piece of content to create. And I've seen a lot of affiliates gain lots of registers from content surrounding this. We also have how to manage all your social media in one place. We touched on this earlier. It's a fantastic content idea. How to track competitor performance. Now that so many different social channels are popping up and there are so many different ways to create, so many different ways to grow your audience, you really want to understand what your competitors are doing. If you have a small business, or even if you're an influencer, or even if you work in-house for social media, you want to understand what your competitors are doing. You want to know what trends are they hopping on, what type of content you want to see, and be able to track that so that you can know how you can improve your performance as well. So that's a great one. You can say what I learned from analyzing top performing creators, right? You can also look at best times to post, how to analyze best times to post. My weekly social media planning routine. It's kind of like a day in the life, but for those in the marketing field or in social media management. And who doesn't love a good day in the life? How agencies can share live dashboards with clients. I touched on this a little bit earlier too, but really just showing all of the amazing and robust reporting features and capabilities that Metricool has to make life easy for those working on that side of marketing. How to generate client ready reports in minutes. How to streamline, schedule approvals and reporting across teams, and the benefits of AI in social media marketing. So I put this one last specifically because so many people are talking about AI. There's so many different tools that are coming out with AI. Metricool has robust AI features to help people no matter what audience you're in, no matter what niche you're in, or what you're doing to grow your socials. Metricool can help with that. And because so many people are looking for resources on how to use AI in general, but also within social media to streamline, to analyze, and determine what's best for them and their brand, this is absolutely a great one to start working on immediately, especially as it relates to blog posts or videos. Those are the types of content sources that people are looking for this information on. And as we know, AI is not going anywhere anytime soon. So it's fantastic to get a jump on it and start talking about the different AI capabilities within Metricool specifically, and also in social media marketing as a whole. And then lastly, I want to share the top, I think 15 or 20 or so places where our affiliates are using their links to drive conversions. Because most times when you think of sharing your affiliate link, you might think of sending it to family and friends and maybe putting it somewhere in your social. But there are so many different places where you can place this link and leave it there forever and earn conversions. So let's start with, of course, your link in bio tool. If you are a Metricooler and you are using our Smart Links link in bio tool, which is amazing, highly recommend, you can place it there. Or if you're using another link in bio tool that you typically use for Instagram, you can place it there as well. Blog posts, as I mentioned, we're thinking evergreen, we're thinking long form, we're thinking something that somebody could still find and look at 5 years from now. A blog post is going to be one of your main sources of driving conversions. If you have a website, go ahead and start dropping your link, dropping your coupon in your blog post. It's going to serve you very, very well in the long run. Case studies. If you develop case studies regarding different tools or AI and social media marketing, for example, that would be a place to include your link and maybe your coupon for Metricool as well. If you have an audience, Facebook groups, or a community that you work with, SMS campaigns, Notion pages are very popular among our Gen Z and younger audience. YouTube. Aside from blogs, I would probably say that YouTube is one of the second best drivers of referrals for our affiliates at the moment. So if they're not coming from a blog to convert, chances are they're coming from a YouTube video. So again, something that lasts a lifetime. I know when I search for YouTube videos, I can find one that was made 10 years ago and it's still relevant. So it's definitely something that you want to consider creating as an affiliate. Newsletters, these are people that are already subscribed. These are people that already know you, that already trust you, your brand, your company, etc. Go ahead and share your link with them. So if they want to give Metricool a 30-day free trial, they can go ahead and do that. And then if they convert, you will get that conversion. Captions. For those that are coaches and have one-on-one consulting opportunities or one-on-one coaching sessions, and you typically go through a process of how you set up your content or how they should set up their content or how they can improve, how they can analyze all these different things, and you as a Metricooler are already using Metricool, share your link with that individual. Share your link during those one-on-one coaching sessions with your clients or whoever, so that if they do end up signing up for Metricool, you can get that conversion and you can get that credited to your account. Podcast notes, webinars, pinned comments, course material. For a lot of people that are doing online courses, demos, etc., different packets, and they are showing how to use the product. I've had some affiliates say like, oh, I promote Metricool all the time. It's actually my course. I'm going to start adding my affiliate link in. Absolutely do that. We want you to get credit for every single person that you have registered for Metricool. So please go ahead and add that in. Also, so your digital products, onboarding documents, lead magnets, and whenever you're at a networking event, whenever you are speaking with an audience or with different individuals, peers in and outside of the marketing industry that might be able to use Metricool or looking for a new social media management tool, share your link, share your coupon. Again, there are a number of places that you can share your link. These are just some of them, probably not even half of them. You can truly get creative and start thinking about different places where you can reach your audience and share your link. So that concludes today's webinar. Thank you guys so much for joining to learn a little bit more about the different places that our affiliates are dropping their link to earn conversions, the different types of content that they're creating, what's best to create to generate traffic and generate registrations and referrals over a long period, and ultimately everything that you can do as a Metricool affiliate to earn with the tool that you love most importantly. So we're going to leave a couple of resources, a couple of quick links in the description should you have any questions about the Metricool affiliate program. And we'll